Okay, let's begin. Welcome and good evening. Thank you for taking the time to join the Faculty of Science Recruitment webinar and our virtual recruitment event, Month at Mac. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions in advance when registering for this event. We've taken these questions and we'll answer them throughout and following a PowerPoint presentation. We'll do our best to answer as many questions as possible this evening. If your question is not answered, please seek one of us out in the people section of our booth and request a meeting. Please note, we have a live chat event tomorrow, Saturday, November 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., where you can meet recruitment officers, faculty experts, programs administrators, instructors, and current science students. If you have any questions throughout the panel discussion, please use the Q&A function in the bottom bar of your screen. If you experience any technical issues, please know we are recording the presentation and it will be posted in the resources section of our booth, which will remain live for the month of November. I'm going to pass it over to Sarah.
Thanks, Ben. So with a commitment to reconciliation, recognition, and respect for our Aboriginal peoples, we'll start our presentation tonight with our land acknowledgement. McMaster University recognizes and acknowledges that it's located on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee nations, and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement.
Thank you, Sarah. This is just a quick presentation overview. Tonight, you're going to meet the panel. We're obviously going to discuss our level 1 program options, those being our direct entry programs and our gateway programs. We'll cover our level 2 program options, the departments and schools associated with the Faculty of Science, the Office of the Associate Dean and what it does for undergraduate students, as well as the Science Career and Cooperative Education Office, followed by the question and answer period. This is our panel. Obviously, my name is Ben O'Connor. I'm the current manager of the undergraduate recruitment and education for the Faculty of Science, and I have worked for the Office of the Associate Dean for roughly 5 years.
And I'm Sarah Robinson. I'm the Assistant Dean Academic in the faculty. I've been with the faculty for about 12 years and look forward to sharing with you tonight. I'm also an alum of this faculty.
Hi, my name is Sherry McCullen. I am the Recruitment and Academic Advisor in the Faculty of Science. I've been in the office for about 3 years now, but I started at MAC back in, let's not mention the year, it's been quite a few, and I just stayed. So I'm a marauder for life.
Hi everyone, my name is Angèle Bone. I'm currently in my 4th and final year of Honors Biology, and I'm currently also pursuing a minor in French with hopes of becoming a teacher in the near future.
Thanks everyone. So this is our level 1 program options. McMaster's Faculty of Science will prepare you to become a leader in a wide variety of science related careers. We are committed to developing your ability to evaluate information, think critically, and apply your understanding of science to a wide range of real world problems and issues. We do that by offering multiple level 1 gateway programs, 7 total, 4 being gateway, and 3 being direct entry programs. We're going to start with our direct entry programs, and Sarah's going to tell you a bit more about them.
Thanks, Ben. So the 3 direct entries that you'll hear me talking about tonight are the Honors Integrated Science Program, Honors Kinesiology, and Medical Radiation Sciences. So we'll start with ISI, as it's affectionately called. So the Honors Integrated Science Program is among the country's most innovative undergraduate science programs, blending content from all of the science disciplines: earth science, physics, chemistry, life sciences, psychology, while focusing on those foundations. Our students learn in a variety of situations, everything from a formal lecture to a group-based project to an individual or inquiry-based research project. This involves hands-on lab experience as well as experience in the field. The ISI program focuses on the development of both self-directed learning skills and team skills in a supportive and collaborative environment. If you want to go to the next slide, Katie, just for a sec, if you don't mind. If we look at the admission requirements for students from Ontario, we're looking at, just like every other program, completion of 6 grade 12 or UM courses, In ISI, we specifically need English, advanced functions, calculus, and vectors, and then 2 of the 3 sciences, biology, chemistry, and physics. We don't care which 2 of the 3 you present with. We do suggest students have all 3, but you don't necessarily have to. In terms of admission average, we look at students everywhere from 85% and above, because the one thing about this program that is slightly different than some of the others, it is a program with admission by selection. So there's a supplementary application as well as your grades that we look at for that program. The SUP app, as it's sometimes called, will be available on the website for integrated science probably by the end of this month. And it's always open until February the 1st. So no stress to complete that now. You have a long time before you need to do that. Okay. Those supplementary applications are reviewed along with grades to make offers of admission for the program. And we do have a presentation video in the resources section of this booth for you to look at later if you want to know more about that program. Let's go now and we'll talk about honors kinesiology. So kinesiology is all about discovery, communication, and application of the knowledge around the study of human movement, exercise, and the relationship between physical activity and health. Admission requirements for this program, again, 6 courses, 3 of which must be English, biology, and calculus and vectors. The program each year takes in about 220 students. And so the admission average anticipated is usually between 87 to 90%. Kinesiology is a really terrific program that gives you a lot of hands-on experiences right from day one. The level 1 students in their anatomy and physiology course have access to the university's cadaver lab, which is pretty unprecedented for most students. And you'll see here from this picture, the students also have access and do a lot of community service and engagement in the PACE Center. PACE stands for Physical Activity Center of Excellence. The state-of-the-art research and exercise facility geared towards both older adults, but also people with disabilities, studying their health and also giving them a place to be physically active. Again, if you want more information about kinesiology, there's a presentation specifically about this program in the resources section. And last but not least, let's go over to medical radiation sciences. So this is the last of the direct entry programs, and it's affectionately known as Med-Rad-Sci, shortening it down just a little bit. It encompasses the health professions that for health professionals, I should say, sorry, that employ various forms of radiation in the diagnostic and therapeutic care of patients. This is one of the fastest growing fields of primary healthcare practitioners, both in this province, but also the country. Students in the program graduate not just with a degree from McMaster, but also an advanced diploma in medical radiation sciences from Mohawk College. Admission requirements include English, advanced functions, calculus and vectors, biology, and chemistry. The direct entry program is usually about 110 students year over year. We anticipate an entrance average between 82 and 85%. In this program, students enter into a common level 1 and then get the opportunity to choose their specialization in level 2, choosing between ultrasonography, radiography, or radiation therapy. And once in the specialization, students have specific courses geared towards that specialization, as well as clinical placement opportunities. So I'm going to flip it back over to Ben and Angel to talk about the gateway structure.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. That was very informative. So in contrast to our direct entry programs, we offer 4 gateway programs. These are considered gateway programs because you don't necessarily have to know exactly which area of science you're most interested in comparison to our KIN, our ISI, and our MedRad, because there's a lot of course flexibility in level 1 in terms of preparing yourself for a level 2 specialization. So I'm just going to turn it over to Angel, and she'll tell you a little bit more about all 4 of these in terms of a student perspective.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. So as Ben said, the gateways are really a wonderful opportunity to explore new avenues while building up from a strong foundation that's given to you by these gateways. So the required courses give you valuable structure for your first year experience to help guide you, while also allowing you the flexibility to try new things and choose courses to follow your personal interests. So the gateways are designed to offer a comprehensive overview of key topics in your chosen field. But they also give you the opportunity or openings for discovery of new interests, or even the opportunity to grow your current interests. And so really what they do is the gateways offer a uniquely customizable experience. So now I'll pass it back to Ben to go onto some details about the gateways.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll start with the Chemical and Physical Sciences Gateway Program. In short, everything we know is either matter or energy, and understanding the ways in which matter and energy behave and interact is critical in understanding the universe at every level. This understanding comes through a mix of mathematical description, computational modeling, experimental investigation, and all of these are covered in the Chemical and Physical Sciences Gateway Program. As you can see, the Ontario admission courses here are English, Advanced Functions, Calculus and Vectors, Chemistry, and Physics, with one other URM-based course. We are saying Ontario admission requirements. A lot of these courses are similar for out of province or out of country. They might just have a different name. So we would encourage everyone to use the Future Students or the Future Students Admission website to filter for the curriculum that best suits where they are currently studying. As you can see, the anticipated admission average for this program is between 82 and 85, with a target enrollment of 125 students. Students of these gateway programs typically move into some common level 2 programs. As you can see, many of them are chemistry and physics related. The astrophysics program, medical and biological physics, mathematics and physics, chemistry, chemical biology, physics, obviously, neuroscience, and a new program for us is sustainable chemistry. As I said, these are common level 2 programs leading from the Chemical and Physical Sciences Gateway. They are not the only options. We do offer over 30 level 2 program options, and you will get to see a little bit more of them as we continue through here. So I'm going to pass it over to Sherry, who will talk about the Environmental Sciences Gateway.
Okay, so human life and society depend critically on environmental resources we all too often take for granted: air, water, soil, and the mineral and organic resources of the earth. With increasing attention to global warming and climate change, there have been dramatically more scientific research and employment opportunities in this area. The Environmental and Earth Sciences Gateway provides problem-based and inquiry learning experiences that will challenge you to think independently and apply the knowledge that you gain. And here we have the Ontario admission requirements. This one you have a little bit of choice. So you have English, you can have biology or chemistry, advanced functions or calculus and vectors, and then one of advanced functions, calculus and vectors, biology, chemistry, or physics. And then 2 other grade 12 U or M requirements. So those 4 and then 2 more. If you're trying to decide which one you could possibly leave out, physics would be the one. Not that you don't need physics, but the level 1 physics course that we have encompasses what you would learn in high school. So you can not have grade 12 physics and take university level physics here. That is not true for biology, chemistry, or functions. If you do not have the grade 12 classes, you need to take the grade 12 equivalent when you get here, but you can. We are expecting about 100 students into this program, and our anticipated cutoff average is 82 to 85%. And some of the common level 2 programs you can that lead off from the Environmental and Earth Sciences Gateway. We have Honors, Earth and Environmental Sciences, Biodiversity and Environmental Sciences. This is a combination of biology and environmental sciences together. We have Environmental Sciences, Biology, Molecular Biology and Genetics, the Life Sciences, and again, Sustainable Chemistry. These are just common ones, like depending on which gateway you're in, the courses you take, your level 2 programs, there's a lot of diversity, you have a lot of choice once you get to level 2. So just depending on your level 1 program, your level 1 courses determines the programs you can get into for level 2. But these are some common programs that students get into from the Earth and Environmental Sciences Gateway. Next up, I think it's back to Ben.
Yeah, that was great. So the Life Sciences Gateway program is obviously one of our largest. The Life Sciences Gateway program is an understanding of the tapestry of life. The tapestry of life comes not from a single discipline, but is woven from all of the life sciences: biochemistry, cell biology, developmental biology, neurobiology, psychology, ecology, earth sciences. I think you get the point. The key is to integrate knowledge across disciplines in order to understand organisms and their place in the ecosystem. The Life Sciences Gateway program offers problem-based and inquiry learning experiences that will challenge you to think independently and to apply the knowledge you gain throughout your undergraduate experience. As you'll notice, the admission requirements here are similar to the Earth and Environmental Sciences based Gateway program. They are English, biology, advanced functions or calculus, one of advanced functions, calculus, chemistry, or physics. Similar to what Sherry mentioned, it is very common for our Life Sciences Gateway students to come in with the calculus and vectors and the chemistry. Like she said, if you are coming in with the advanced functions, you would just take our grade 12 equivalent Math 1 FO3 before taking our level 1 courses. The anticipated admission average is going to be between 87 and 90, with a target enrollment of around 980 students each year. The level 2 programs typically associated with this gateway, as you can see, there are a few more than the others. That is commonly because of the size of it, because there are more people, there are more diverse interests, and there are more options that lead from that gateway. I'm not going to name all of these. You can obviously see them, but you can see there's a mix of biology, medical, biological physics, psychology, chemistry, human behavior, a little bit of everything. And that really does happen because of the level 1 course selection and students really finding an interest in terms of what area they want to pursue as a level 2 program option.
Okay, so up to me for math and stats. So our mathematics and statistics study patterns underlying diverse phenomena such as the weather, human and animal populations, stock markets, the form of a molecule, or the structure of space and time. Using mathematics, we discover subtle and sometimes unexpected features of these phenomena. As well, we can predict their behavior, which is an extremely important component of our understanding of the world and the space that surrounds us. Statistics can help us make sense of large data sets and complex systems in areas such as astronomy, genomics, social networks, climate simulation, and medicine. Statisticians examine the patterns which arise in data with the goal of distinguishing true patterns from chance effects. The Mathematics and Stats Gateway introduces students to the foundational tools and ideas of math and stats. So we can see the admission requirements here, just 3 courses: English, advanced functions and vectors, and then 3 other grade 12 U or M, whatever you like. Anticipated cutoff average is 85 to 88, and we're looking at about 300 students. This is it's a fairly large gateway with lots of, it's increasing enrollment in the last couple of years, but you only have to come in with 3. So you get some good choice there. And some possible level 2 program options, anything with math or stats in it. So we do have honors math and stats. We have math and stats with different subplans. Those subplans you specialize in either math or stats. We have actuarial and financial math, which is a very popular program. That one does have a supplemental application, but that's for level 2. You don't need to worry about that yet. We do have biology and math and physics, math and computer science, and mathematical sciences.
Which brings us right into our level 2 program options. So there are a bunch of questions in the Q&A regarding this information currently. So in short, the courses you take in first year make you eligible for a level 2 program option. So what that means is good planning in terms of your course selection in first year is important. Thankfully, many of our level 2 programs have similar admission requirements. So just because you're interested in one program, it doesn't mean you're not going to be eligible for others based on your course selection. While some students do continue in the same area of study as their gateway program, taking a course that you may not have realized you were interested in, could spark an idea for you to choose a different level 2 program. Regardless of your path, following first year, you apply to 4 programs. You rank them in order in terms of what you want to be in, and then we evaluate you based on the courses you've taken and your average. There was a question asking if they are competitive. Some of them are competitive. Some of them do have a cutoff. It does depend on the program. That would be the difference between a limited enrollment program and a non-limited enrollment program. As an example, our biology program is unlimited. If you are meeting the admission requirements, you can go straight into that program, assuming you've met them. And then in comparison, a limited enrollment program would be our honors psychology, neuroscience, and behavior program. It has courses and a minimum GPA requirement. Angèle is going to tell you a bit more about her experience with the level 2 program selection.
Yes, thanks, Ben. So as a student, it can be not only really exciting to make your choice for second year, but it can also be really overwhelming. As Ben said, we have over 30 options for level 2 programs. But luckily, there's a lot of support available to help you make the right choice for you. So we have academic as well as career advisors on hand to give you information that can guide you in your decision. But there's also opportunities where you'll get to connect with students and staff that are part of your prospective programs. So this will not just allow you to make an informed decision, but also to meet peers and professors and kind of network with them so you can set yourself up for a strong start in second year, regardless of what you choose.
So I get to talk about the nitty-gritty details. You can see here what Ben's shown for us is the honors biology program and then honors life sciences, 2 of our level 2 programs. And you can see that the similarities in what you would take as a first-year student to be admitted to the program are pretty close. For biology, you have 2 biology courses. For the honors life sciences, you have 1 that you have to take. Similarly, chemistry, 2 on the bio side, 1 on the life science side. The point of this, I won't go through all of them. The point of this, as a student, when you come to MAC, as you're choosing your courses, take a look, just dream a little bit about what you want to do in second year and look to see what are the common courses that if you wanted to go into honors life sciences or maybe honors biology or maybe honors psychology, neuroscience, and behavior, what are the common level 1 courses that you should take that would make you eligible for all of those programs? And when that gets confusing, or if it gets confusing, you call all of us so that we can help you make those choices, because that can seem a little bit overwhelming, but it's what we're here to do every day to help you with that.
We also have a resource, it's called mapsci.ca. It basically allows a student to plan their undergraduate experience from high school all the way through to convocation. There's a calculator app within the map, we call it the map, that allows you to put in different science courses that you think you'd be taking in your first year. And it calculates what the likelihood percentage of you being eligible for our programs is. So it's a great way for you to choose your courses and really have an understanding of what programs you're going to be eligible for at level 2. And then we're going to move into our departments and schools.
Okay, so within the Faculty of Science, we have a number of different departments and schools: biochemistry and biomedical sciences, biology, chem and chem bio, earth, environment, and society, interdisciplinary science, kinesiology, math and stats, physics and astronomy, and psychology, neuroscience, and behavior. And whichever program you get into, you are able to take courses from the other disciplines if you're interested. Pretty much all of these departments here, you could get a minor in with the exception of kinesiology and interdisciplinary science. Most students, unless you're in kin, can't take kin courses. There are a couple you can take anatomy and physiology, but usually the kin courses are just for kin students, but you could minor in any one of these. So if you're in life sciences, but you have an interest in psychology, you can certainly take enough psychology courses to get a minor, or any of the other, and you don't have to get a minor. It's just if you choose to concentrate your electives in a particular subject, then you can. And all of these are available as minors, and you can take these courses as long as you have the prerequisites. So if you're planning ahead, which is something we all suggest you do, you click through the course calendar, you see which courses sound interesting, and then you just make sure you take those prerequisites so that by the time you get to level 3 or 4, you've taken what you needed and you can get the courses that you want.
So we'll talk just very briefly about the Associate Dean's Office. And this is where you come for your help. Much like if you have a question about career advice right now as a high school student, you go to your career and cooperative office likely. You're going to come to the Associate Dean's Office. And we have academic advising that's available. We have career counseling that's available through our Science, Career, and Cooperative Education. We have a lot of knowledge and a lot of guidance that we can provide. Many of us are McMaster grads, as we shared earlier in the presentation. And more importantly, we have all the connections that you need on campus in case you need some help finding additional help, okay? Lots of resources and support are available online. And even as we've transitioned to this virtual environment for the last year, lots of resources are available virtually as well. That still means connecting face-to-face with any of us here on this screen as questions come up for you. So don't feel like you need to go this alone as a student and as a family making these choices. This is why we're here to help you as well.
Last thing, I'm going to talk about the Science, Career, and Cooperative Education Office. They offer a service that is available to all science students starting from their first day of first year right through till 5 years after they graduate. They offer resume critiquing, they do mock interviews, and they're also in charge of our co-op programs. We do have 12 different co-op disciplines that you can get into. They start in level 3. So if you choose to do a co-op, it will add 1 year to your university career. So you'll be here for 5 years total, but you do get 16 months of paid work experience. If you get a good job, that will in fact quite likely pay off all of your tuition fees, and you could come out of school debt-free. That's a plan. Okay, so starting in level, so they do start in level 3, you would apply for your co-op program in level 2. So if you were in, say, actuarial and financial math, you would apply for actuarial and financial math co-op. If you're in life sciences, you would apply for the life sciences co-op. The co-op office helps with career advice. If you are thinking to do grad school or professional school, they will help you with your admission requirements, with navigating the application, and then they just in general help you finding jobs. And career advisors are wonderful over there, and they are there to help. And again, they are there right up until you graduate and 5 years thereafter. Is there anything else? Yeah, students who are thinking of co-op should take, it's a course we call Science 2C, 2C00. It's called Skills for Career Success. It's about 8 hours total, and it just gives you, resume help, cover letter writing, but it is a required course if you're considering co-op. And they also do, they also do experiential education. So if you're not interested in a full co-op, you can do an applied placement. And you can also do internships. So the co-op office is in charge of all of that, or at least the science applied placements, and they're there to help. Back to Ben.
Thank you. So that concludes our presentation. It did cover a lot of the questions that were coming into the Q&A. What we're going to do now is we're going to continue to pull from the Q&As that are coming in, and we're going to answer the most popular questions for everyone to hear. So we'll get right into it. So Sarah, there's a question in the Q&A. How do science programs prepare you for postgraduate or professional programs? Sarah, you're muted.
Thanks, sorry about that. What you get for being in meetings all day. Small tangent first to say that you can even explore some of these career opportunities through the map that Ben talked about. And a few of you have asked for that link, so we've posted it into your Q&A, but I'm sure that we'll make that available in other ways as well. But how your science degree is going to prepare you for any professional job after the fact is to continue to help you to practice to think quite critically about the information that's presented to you. All of our programs, regardless of where you go, do have a keen focus on you building your skills in inquiry and then building your skills in communication. We have a real keen focus on science communication in this faculty, so that not only are you taking in the information, but then also how can you express it out to others and share that knowledge with others after you graduate. So regardless of what career you go into afterwards, those are the skills that we really want you to take with you in addition to the subject matter knowledge that you will have.
Perfect, thank you. One for Sherry. Can students receive transfer credit for IB or AP courses, and should they take it if they have completed those?
Okay, so it's a yes and no type of thing. So yes, you can get credit for IB and AP courses. You need to have at least a 5. For IB, it has to be high level. We do give transfer credit for non-science things. So if you have English, history, geography, economics, we will certainly give you transfer credit for that. If you have biology, chemistry, physics, we would either give you the grade 12 equivalent of that here, or we would suggest that you, well, either way, you need to take those courses here. We'd like you to have the university experience, the lab experience of taking a biology, chemistry, or physics course. If the material is very similar, that means you'll do very well because it will be reviewed for you, and then you can get the high GPA you need to get into the limited enrollment programs that you're thinking of. But so yes, we do give transfer credit. And when you accept your application, when you accept and come to MAC, we will look those over in August, and then so you can make changes to your level 1 courses if you are getting the transfer credit or not. But yes, we do.
Thank you. For Angel, once I've accepted my offer, when do I choose my courses? Am I able to change them once I've selected them?
That's a great question. So course selection usually takes place in the summer, so June, July, roughly, and you can change them pretty much right up until about a week after school started. So say you go to your first day of classes and there's this class that you were really excited about. Turns out it's not quite what you wanted. Even after having gone to that class, you still have about a week from the first day of classes to change it to something that you might like better.
Angela, are you able to just share with us the courses that you took in first year so students kind of have an understanding of what a typical level 1 science student is like, and then how that structured your level 2 program options?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was in the life sciences gateway. So I took my two biologies, so cell bio and evolution ecology. I took physics 1A03. So I think it's the equivalent of like grade 11, 12 physics. Awesome course. I also took calculus for the sciences, as well as both psychologies. And I took the second one out of interest, and that actually kind of prompted me to look more into like a biopsych avenue. Unfortunately, I didn't get into that program, the double major, but I did get into biology, which turns out is a lot better for me. It's a much better fit because it's very flexible. And it actually allowed me to pursue a minor in French, which is giving me the right kind of tools to go to teachers college and have 2 really valuable teachable topics for my future.
Perfect, thank you. For Sarah, so one of the more popular questions that we get any time of the year is, what is the difference between life sciences and health sciences?
Yeah, all-time favorite question that is answered a lot. I like to think about this on a continuum, that life sciences is the study of anything that is alive, including humans, animals, but it could also include things like ecosystems. Health sciences, at McMaster at least, is the study of human health. And again, that can be the interactions of humans with their environment, but it is very much focused on the human. In life sciences, we do, in any of the disciplines in Honors Life Sciences program, you can study humans. So don't think that you can't study human health if you come to the Faculty of Science. That's very much a focus for a lot of students. But you also have the opportunity to expand that focus if you want. So I tend to think about those things on a continuum. Further down that continuum would be some of the more traditional sciences as well that will study bigger systems and sometimes smaller systems, if you will.
Perfect. Another question that comes up a lot, and I'll ask Sherry to answer this. Is there a program that's going to help me get into a postgraduate program, or for instance, medical school?
Okay, so the easy answer here is that at McMaster, you can get into med school with any undergraduate degree. You could have a degree in anthropology, you could have a degree in music, you could have a degree in life sciences. At Mac, they are looking for high GPA, they're looking for the interview, they're looking for the some MCAT scores. At other universities, U of T, Western, at the other med schools, there are particular courses they are looking for. So it's just whichever program you get into, you have to ensure that you take those courses, whether they're a part of your program or not. So if you are in, say, honors life science and they're looking for organic chemistry, it is not a required course for honors life science, but you can take it, and you should if you plan to get into med school at a school that requires organic chemistry. So it really just depends. You can get into a program that covers most of the courses you need, or you can just take them as electives if they're not required for your program. For example, a lot of med schools are looking for biochemistry, they're looking for psychology. Well, there's no biochemistry and psychology program. You would just need to take those two, like if you're in psych, then you need to take the biochem courses. If you're in biochem, you need to take the psych courses. It's, you just need to do your research on the different admission requirements, the different programs for dentistry, medical school, whatever, and then just make sure that you take those courses in whatever program you're in. We do suggest that whatever program you're in, you be very interested in it, because the students that are taking courses that they're interested in do much better. They get the higher grades they need because, number one, you need to have high grades, not A's, A pluses. You need to be elite to get into these med schools, dentistry and whatnot. So you need to come in with, just take interesting courses, you do better, you do all the work, you get the high grades you need, and then your path to med school is there.
Thank you. Another one for Angel. What is the workload like, and how do you stay on top of all of your courses?
Yeah, so thank you. Another great question. So I would definitely say the workload is heavier than in high school, seeing as you were taking 5 courses per semester and not 4. But I personally didn't find it unmanageable. One thing that's really good about first year courses is that the workload tends to be really structured. So you basically have the same thing every week. Every Friday you have a psych quiz due at 3 p.m. Every Tuesday you have a reflection due at midnight before your tutorial Wednesday morning, for example. And so that means that you can create a routine around that, which worked really well for me because I'm super routine and schedule oriented. As far as how I stay on top of all my courses, the best tool that's worked for me is at the beginning of the semester, taking a calendar, sitting down with my syllabus from every class. There's super valuable information in those, so definitely read them. Marking down every due date, color coding it per class, and then putting it somewhere where I see it every day so I can't miss a deadline. Now, if you do find the course load to be a little bit harder to manage, you're struggling to get your feet under you, as everyone has mentioned throughout this presentation, there's tons of support available. So we have lots of free help centers in first year if you need help with your courses. There's prof office hours that are not just good for help with course content, but also strategies to study in different classes. And we also have a student success center where you can go and work with a coach to learn how to take multiple choice exams or how to write an essay, for example. So even if you do struggle a bit, there's definitely tons of help available.
Perfect. There's a couple questions in the Q&A about OUAC applications. There is a limit of the number of programs you can apply to at a university, but it's not often an issue that we run into in the Faculty of Science, but it's not uncommon for students interested in our faculty to apply to a number of programs. That could be the life sciences program or the kinesiology program. I apologize, I don't know exactly what the number is in terms of the limit. If you wanted to connect with me in the people section, I will get an appropriate answer for you at a later time. And then another good question that came in was, how is first year currently adapted for COVID and an online learning environment? Our classes have gone online for first year. There's a mix of synchronous and asynchronous. So that's tuning in at a specific time, and there's also tuning in on your own time. Another cool part is 2 of our level 1 courses, Physics 1 AO3 and Biology 1 AO3, actually prepared lab kits for the students enrolled in those courses. That's going to give our level 1 science students not the perfect lab experience that you would have had if you were on campus in our laboratories, but you are still able to get that hands-on learning from the comforts of home. It is truly unique, and our physics and biology department have gone above and beyond to give our level 1 students that experience. And we do hope that we are on campus in the future, but for now, that is the way we are doing some of our labs. Some of our upper year courses are still coming to campus to do some of their labs in very structured, one at a time manners. So the lab components are still happening, but they are obviously very different. There's a question for Sarah. It has to do with careers. Can you explain some of the careers associated with programs if there are differences? And is there an opportunity for me to find out more about them?
Yeah, I want you to think about two things. I want you to think about the fact that you might have a good sense right now of where you think you want to go, even after university. And I hope you hold on to that idea, but I don't want you to hold on to that idea so hard and so tightly that you don't open yourself up to other opportunities. On the other end of that spectrum, you might not know at all what you want to do when you graduate. That's equally as terrific. There's lots of opportunities while you're here to be involved in various different courses and programs. We have a great connection to the Hamilton community and courses that specifically focus on community engagement. So our students go everywhere from bench research, like laboratory-based research, and some move into grad school, some even continue on and stay at university. Many go to private research enterprises or public for that matter. We have students who go to all the typical places of med school, dentistry, pharmacy, optometry. But we also have students who then move in and work with the community, either in the public or the not-for-profit sector. We have students who go on to teach. So if you looked at it, it would be a pie chart with a whole bunch of little pies that the students do go into lots of different areas. One of the courses we haven't talked about quite yet that is available for first year students is called Science 1A03, Opportunities and Experiences. And it gives you a really great taste of all of our departments and disciplines, so that if you're not sure as a gateway student exactly where you think you might want to go for level 2, I'd really encourage you to look at that class. Maybe if we could, I don't know if this is possible, can we throw that course code into the Q&A for our participants so that they can see that? That's a course that we've specifically geared towards students to help them make those choices, help them understand what other courses they might need to take for admission, and then also help them understand what are some of the career opportunities within, thanks Ben, what are the career opportunities within that specific department or discipline where the student might be able to go after that.
Perfect. So there's been some questions about minors and majors. Sherry, can you give us a little bit of information, the difference between a minor and a major? And then Angelo, could you explain kind of what you are doing to stay on top of your minor and how you know what requirements to fulfill?
Okay, so your major is your level 2 program that you get into after you've completed your gateway. So you go on into, say, honors biology. That's your major. Your minor, if you decide to do one, because it is not required, is a subject that you would concentrate your electives in, because for every program you're in, you do get a set of electives. The electives are anything that you want to take that you have the prerequisites for. So if you decide you're in honors biology and you want to get a minor in art history, you would look at the undergraduate calendar for the list of minor requirements. There are many minors you can do, and it will tell you exactly what you need to take to get that minor. Some of them have very specific requirements. Others will say 24 units. A 3-unit course is a 1-semester course. So that would be 24 units would usually be 8 courses in that subject. Something like, say, classics, I think just says 24 units of classics with no more than 6 units at level 1. So we would take 2 level 1 courses and then 6 more courses at level 2, 3, 4, any classics course that you want to take. So that's a minor, and you just take those throughout your university career. And then in your 4th year, just before you graduate, you would apply for the minor, and then we would check to make sure that you satisfied the requirements for that minor. And if you have, then you get a minor. And it appears on your transcripts, does not show up on your diploma. Your major will be on your degree, but the minor will just be a transcript note. But you can certainly put it on a resume. And I got a minor in anthro because I had courses to take. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so took an anthro course in first year. I'm like, hey, that was fun. And then I took 8 more. So might as well get a minor in anthro, and I did. So that's majors and minors. And you can get more than one minor if you have enough elective space. A lot of the math classes, the math programs have many electives. So if you plan things out properly, you can get 2 minors. They have to be completely separate. They can't have any of the courses the same. But if you said did economics and music, they are not the same at all. So you can get 2 minors there. And again, just you need to get them before you graduate. That's all. Angèle.
Yeah, thank you. So my major is biology. That's the second year. That's the path I chose in level 2. And my minor is in French. So in order to make sure that I had all my requirements fulfilled for biology and French, we have this undergraduate calendar website that you can go visit, and it will tell you all your requirements. So for French, I knew that for a minor, 4th year courses didn't count. So I had to take a couple extra 3rd year courses in order to get my minor there. And for biology, there's 2 lists of courses that you need to get from. So there's the biology course list, which has courses from all sorts of different departments. So you have like health sci courses in there, you have life sci courses, earth and environmental sciences, physics, all sorts of things. So for example, I've taken like human pathophysiology, evolution, and human development, all sorts of things from that list. But also I have to answer a certain amount of criteria, or have a certain amount of courses that have a biology or molecular biology course code. So something like evolution, medical microbiology, that's a course that I'm taking right now, ecotoxicology. So as long as you fill out the requirements from both of those lists, you'll be able to, plus your electives on top of that, you should be good to go for your major. And all of that is on our undergraduate website.
Perfect. We are getting a few questions about 2021, 2022, and what residence is going to look like in life on campus. The health of McMaster students and our community will continue to be our top priority as we make decisions related to the delivery of academic courses, on-campus activities, and access to facilities. As we learn more about COVID-19, we are determining how we continue to prioritize health while bringing an even greater sense of engagement to student life in the campus environment in 2021, 2022. As we move closer to the fall 2021 term, we will continue to be transparent and timely in communicating decisions that will impact your student experience. We obviously all hope that things are going to be better and we will be back on campus, but just at this time, it is hard for us to give an answer without more information. There are lots of questions coming into the Q&A. Sarah, can you just give us, some students are asking kind of how the years track in terms of gateway.
I'm just going to add to that. Oh, sure. In terms of if you enter a gateway. Sorry,
yes,
I'm also getting a notice on my end that my internet. Yep, that's okay. I hope I can still stay here. My internet's been a little bit funky tonight. It's getting tired. If you enter a gateway, you're entering your first year, and as we've talked about, you'll apply for your level 2 program, your major or your honors level program for level 2. You'll do that program levels 2, 3, and 4, or years 2, 3, and 4. If you go into co-op, you'd add a 5th year. Okay, but otherwise, most of our students are getting out the door and across the stage to convocation in 4 years. So your honors program starts in level 2, unless you are starting in a direct entry program, honors ISI, honors kinesiology, or Bachelor of Medical Radiation Sciences. Is that what you were looking for, Ben?
Yeah, that's good. And then there's also some questions about the supplementary application. Are you able to give a little bit more information on that for ISI students?
Happy to. So this is the one and only SUP-app within this faculty. There are other supplementary applications required for other programs at the institution. So if you're applying for those programs, pay attention to which SUP-app you're completing. Everyone's SUP-app is different. The supplementary application for integrated science is 6 questions. Basically, the program needs to know, because it only has 60 students who enter and at any given time, we need to know, is this the right program for you? And how will you do? How successful will you be in amongst your peers, working with your peers, if you do enter the program? So the questions, that the piece of advice I always give is be honest. Tell us about yourself. We want to know about you. We don't want you to simply regurgitate the website. We know about our program. We don't need you to tell it back to us. We want you to tell us why you're interested in the program, why you think you would do well in the program, why you want to spend 4 years in that program. As I said, that SUP app is available until February the 1st. So take a look at it, copy down those questions, think about your responses and what you would say. And again, be very truthful, write it yourself. If you want someone to look it over for you, a parent, a guidance counselor at school, a friend, go for it. But do it yourself, because you're the person who's going to be in that program. And it does come across when we have a SUP app that is written by the student versus a SUP app that is written by either a group or by an older person, such as a parent or a guidance counselor.
Perfect, thank you. Another question that's become popular tonight is units. How many units are associated with a course, and how many courses am I taking? So each course, for the most part, is 3 units, and that would be a one-term course would be 3 units. Typically, students take a full course load of 5 courses per term with 15 units total, and then would mirror that in the winter as well. So that would be a total of 10 courses following first year for 30 units. That being said, you don't have to be in a full course load. To be eligible for our level 2 science programs, most of our programs require 8 science-based courses for admission and progression into level 2. So if that full course load does seem daunting, it is not uncommon for students to drop down to 4 courses and really focus on the science requirements that they need so that they can get into the level 2 program that interests them most. What that means is you're going to have to pick up additional courses at some time over your university career. That could be during a spring, summer. That could be during an extra year. Spreading your academics out, it's not looked down upon. It is becoming popular. You go at your own pace to allow you to do the best you can and take everything that you need in order to get where you want to go. There's a question for Angèle. As a student, did you participate in any extracurriculars? Did it affect your academics, and how did you meet friends in first year?
Great question. So in terms of extracurriculars, I wasn't part of any clubs or anything. I instead did a class at the gym. I did yoga, and that was really life-changing for me. How I met my friends, I met my friends in chemistry lab, actually. The best friends I've made were in my first year chemistry and in my second year organic chemistry lab. And those are the best friends I have. I've been living with them for 2 years now, if not 3 for the one. So that's great. And in terms of whether or not your extracurriculars and social life kind of affect your school life, if anything, it enhances it. So one thing I learned really early on is that it's important. So you think maybe you need to sit there and you need to study all day, every day, but that's not going to work necessarily. You need to have that social time. You need to have that exercising. You need to have that outdoor time. You need to have all those things to be well-rounded and also to function well and to be able to perform at your maximum capacity. So I would say that if you find the time to balance everything together, they don't necessarily impede on that. They rather kind of enhance the experience altogether.
Perfect. There's a few questions about when offers are going to go out. Traditionally, offers from McMaster do go out in around February and March. Because of the new quad semester system for current high school students, there is going to be a second round of offers going out a little bit later in April and May. So your offers could come anytime within that period. McMaster traditionally doesn't do a ton of early offers. We do wait for the bulk of your grades to come in before extending you an offer of admission. Is there any questions the panelists would like to bring up before we kind of close? Or is there something that we've missed and would like to discuss as a group? No? Okay. So I just want to thank everyone for
I see one of
joining us.
this. Oh, sorry, Ben. I do
okay.
see that there was a question of why we each chose science. Funny enough, since we're all here and we're all McMaster grads or soon to be grads, in your case, Angèle. Maybe Angèle, why don't you go first? Why did you choose Mac?
Okay, so funny story. I actually went into this thinking I wanted to do something completely different. I kind of went in with blinders, and before, like 1 week before school decided, or our applications were due for university, I decided I wanted to do something that had a co-op in molecular biology and genetics. So I applied everywhere that had that. And then when I visited the campuses, I saw the trees here and I was like, wow, this is great. I have to be here, because I come from a really rural area and there was that kind of home feeling to having our the Coop's Paradise trails in and around campus. And so that really attracted me to the campus. And then once I got here, I realized that, hey, I don't want to work in a lab. I want to work with people. I want to be teaching and learning from other people all around me. Not that you can't do that in a lab, but I just really needed all that social interaction. And so being in a gateway is what really kind of opened my eyes to that, made me realize that, hey, even though I like cell bio, I don't necessarily want to look at cells or work in a lab forever. I want to work with people. And so that gave me the flexibility to kind of explore that, and the ability to go into this program that's worked out really, really well for me and that I love. So maybe this isn't exactly where I thought I was going to be, but this is where I need to be right now. And it just turned out to be really great that I ended up here. It was perfect.
How about you, Sherry? Why did you choose Mac?
Well, I applied to Western because I grew up in London, so Western just made sense. I only came to, anyway, Western was a choice, Mac was a choice, and then I put Brock in there because I'm like, it's close to the border and I could do some cross-border shopping. That was really the only reason why I put Brock on the list. So I got into all of them, but if I went to Western, I was gonna have to live with my aunt because she lives like practically on Western campus. And I'm like, no, I'm not living with her. So it was Mac. And then, so I hadn't visited until I got in. So that the campus, wasn't, the campus itself wasn't a determining factor. But once I got here, loved it. I'll tell you, I've stayed. Back in my day, it was called Natural Sciences 1. And I went into that. I had every intention of being a doctor, as we all do. And sorry, I just read the note. And yeah, so anyway, ended up in biochemistry, stayed here. Mac is great. You should all come to Mac. Next.
And Sarah?
Sure. I'm a kinesiology grad first. Hamilton and just outside of Hamilton is home. So Mac was the obvious choice, big family, close university. And I have to echo what Angèle said, that the sense of community and feeling of home on this campus is like none I've been at for other institutions that I've either worked at or studied at across the country. And I think that's another reason why a lot of us come back to work at Mac as well, is that feeling of home and that feeling of community. We do have some really elite and some really world-class programs here. And so I encourage you to really think about that as a student and as an applicant, and think about how you'll fit in these campuses. And I know right now that might be a little bit different as we all work in this virtual way for the time being, but it is really about the connections that you're going to make when you're here as a student.
Yeah, thank you. And just to conclude, I want to thank our panelists for joining us tonight. It was very informative, and I hope everyone got their questions answered. For those of you who still have questions, and I'm sure you continue to will over the next few days or months as you decide which university you're going to apply to, be sure to connect with us in the booth, the science booth, the people section. We have roughly 100 representatives from every science program, including faculty and staff representatives, to answer all of your questions. As a reminder, we have that live event tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Where you can connect with everybody and get all of your questions answered. And be sure to check out our resources section. Map size included there, as well as our science program guide. that has information on all of our level 2 programs and the courses you would be taking, and information about every single program, department, and school. So just to say, a final thank you for coming, and everyone have a great night. Take care.